And Daniel Keene has left the podcast booth. I am alone. I don't know if this has ever happened before, and I feel pretty bad. But you know what? I'm just saying, Niners are the better football team. Is this the end? I'm gonna just talk, I guess.
Morning, evening, afternoon, whatever time it is by you. Welcome back to the Underqualified Knuckleheads Sports Podcast, Ball State's premier sports podcast. I'm your co-host, as always, Daniel Keene. Joined alongside me, Mr. Andy Newman. Andy, it's Friday. I'm feeling good. You're feeling good. It's like 45 degrees out. What could be better?
It's actually 43 degrees out, according to my watch.
Goodness.
It's close enough. Feeling all right. Feeling good on a Friday. Last week, obviously, was a Saturday. This will hopefully be the time moving forward that we will be coming by you. So that would be about a 12 o'clock on a Friday. That seems to be the time that works best for the both of us and for the other podcast that Daniel has going, because this is podcast day for him with the Yankees Guide to the Premier League. Yes, with our guy Bryce Timsevich. But I get the first block because I requested it, and actually I requested it later than Bryce, but I took it anyway because you know what, we're the premier sports podcast of Ball State University, so I take precedent. No, take whatever. No, precedent is precedent, right?
I mean,
I pull rank.
It works.
Sure, yeah,
it works. Question of the day.
Yeah,
how long does it take you to get dressed in the morning?
It's a great question. I did, in fact, wake up 15 minutes before class started today, and I made it there on time. I don't know how that happened, but it worked. Usually, it's about like a 10-minute process, maybe 5. It depends on what I'm wearing that day. I don't know. Maybe I'm wearing some jeans with a belt. Maybe I'm wearing a suit.
Are you a lay my stuff out the night before kind of guy?
Every once in a while, on special occasions. On occasions where I'm like, I want to wear that tomorrow. Sometimes.
Like if I know I have to get up early or like go to the gym, it's a lay out the stuff the night before. If I know I have to go for a run in the morning, I lay out my stuff the night before. However, what I have found is I get ready to shower in the morning.
Ooh.
And before I get in the shower, I lay out what I'm wearing.
Oh.
And then when I get out of the shower, it's there and ready for me.
Okay.
However, this has happened a couple times in the past couple weeks. And by a couple times, I mean like maybe once a week.
Understood.
I see what I laid out before my shower, and I get out of the shower, and I'm like, I don't want to wear this anymore.
Yeah.
So I have to find something new. So it's all good. It's all a process. Really important question.
Yes.
When you're putting your clothes on,
I am.
You're going from no clothes at all to clothes.
Yeah.
Like fully clothed. What's your order?
Ooh. Yeah. Underwear's first.
Well, obviously.
Yeah. And then it is undershirt. For a day that I would usually wear an undershirt. It's like a white T-shirt. Like I'm wearing, well, not today. I base my clothes based on what I'm going to wear on the outside and then work my way down usually. I figure it out, and then I go from there. So if I'm wearing a Colts jersey, I figure out that I'm wearing a Colts jersey, decide that, then figure out what pants work with that Colts jersey, and figure out what Colts undershirt works with that Colts shirt. Well, it doesn't really matter. Just I need to grab a Colts undershirt. Do I need to grab a white T-shirt? Do I need to grab a Dunder Mifflin T-shirt like I have underneath my Dunder Mifflin hoodie right now? It's a process. My brain works through it when I am not very lucid in the morning.
This is I asked this question because I do have a main question.
Yes.
Which is, where did the socks go in the order?
Last.
Ugh.
Last.
Mm-mm.
I'll walk to the bathroom in like flip-flops just because I don't have socks on. Socks and the shoes, then out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's too much.
Okay, so here's what I do.
Okay.
Underwear.
All right.
Socks.
Yeah. Wow, that's certainly something.
First two things.
The socks also have to work with the outfit, though, which is the issue.
I have a pretty generic sock for everything. It's these Puma socks I get at Costco. Love them.
I have specifically branded socks, though.
I have specifically branded socks for special occasions. So right now, guess what kind of socks I'm wearing?
You're wearing Noah Khan socks.
No.
Oh.
It's game weekend,
socks?
baby.
You're wearing Lion socks. Oh, yeah, you said you wear Lion socks.
Because Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm wearing my Lion socks.
Yes.
Good luck. We haven't lost a playoff game when I do it, so can't stop now. I also have not washed the Barry Sanders jersey, and I will not wash the Barry Sanders jersey until we win the Super Bowl.
Hey, by the way, just watch Bye Bye Barry, the Amazon Prime documentary. Gas. That thing was
Phenomenal.
awesome.
It was really
Great
good.
doc.
I had a great time.
Made me cry.
Made me cry too.
Made me cry a little bit.
Hey, look at you,
You
go.
know what? Guy's an interesting character.
Barry's an interesting guy.
Barry, bro seems like he's so uninterested in everything. And then randomly when he retired, he became interested in everything.
Yep.
He's done a lot of stuff, I feel like. And
everyone's like, oh, if the Lions go to the Super Bowl, we need to sign him on a one-day contract so he can get a ring. He's a part of the front office.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah, so he's going to get a ring no matter what.
Oh,
I
cool.
forgot what his position is.
Player consultant,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure. But no, his story is honestly a little tragic. I mean, dude played, for 10 years of football, from 89 to 1998 was his last, 98. 98 was his last season, and retired via fax in London. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it was kind of weird.
That is, I mean, well, that's from what I watched in the documentary. I mean, that was him, and it just sucks that he seems like a very, very similar character.
He's a brand ambassador, or
Or
at least he was. Okay. He came on in 2017. I think he's still there.
Barry Sanders and his career, obviously not to the pedigree as Barry Sanders was more of a individual than this other guy that I'm going to bring up, but it's very similar to Andrew Luck and how Andrew Luck's career ended up playing out. But I don't think, Luck didn't have to dealt with more injuries, I think, but they reached similar peaks and did a lot of similar things. I think maybe Luck had a little bit more success team-wise, but obviously Barry had a lot more success as a player and an individual player. Like, if he had played one more season, he might have broken the all-time rushing record. But just the way that his entire career kind of ended up is really sad. I mean, the dude probably should have ended up being the greatest running back of all time. I mean, and there is debate for whether or not he is or isn't. But I don't know. It was a tragic story in a way, from the football sense of things.
Can we get back to my underwear, bro?
Yeah, my bad.
Okay, underwear, socks.
All right.
If I'm wearing
Actually, you didn't like me talking about Barry Sanders?
No, I love talking about Barry Sanders, but I know I was going to forget about my underwear.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm just going to put in the social post, we talk about our underwear today.
No, please don't. Please don't.
But, no, so it's underwear, socks, and then if I'm 9 times out of 10, I'm wearing a hoodie. If I'm wearing something over the shirt that I'm wearing under, I put the pants on first, so I can, when I put the shirt, I put the shirt on first, so when I put the pants on, it tucks right in.
Oh.
And then if I'm wearing a button down, I do the same thing.
All right.
But I'm a big proponent of socks right after the underwear. Because if you put your pants on and then you're putting socks on, you have to roll up and scrunch up your pants, and then your pants don't always sometimes your socks get not totally perfect.
No,
so when you
my
put
socks are perfect.
but when you put your socks on before you put your pants on, you can make sure your socks are in there.
No, my socks are fine. I never have an issue with that.
Okay, I've had issues with that.
Well, that's
so
weird.
I want to make sure my socks are on perfectly. Also, I get really I have a bad day if I put my socks on and my socks are fit. You ever have your socks facing the wrong way on your sock?
Yeah.
That ruins my day. So I'm pretty big in making sure the socks go on perfectly.
Understood. And it doesn't mess around with your the weirdness of your shoe.
That's it.
Yes.
That's it.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. I got the boot on right now, and when I put the socks on...
How's that going?
It's going all right. I'm supposed to get it off next week. I ran on Tuesday. They said I could run on Tuesday if I didn't have any pain. I ran on Tuesday, 2 miles, no pain. I ran 1.5 miles yesterday, and it kind of hurt a little bit.
Little pain?
So we're going to take the weekend off. I stress ibuprofen, just like they told me. Do my PT, and then I have another meeting next week. So
Understood.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Cool. Well, hopefully you'll get it off.
Hopefully we'll
back
get
to
it
running.
off.
Back to running without pain.
So let's get to sports.
Here's to that.
We got 8 minutes of non-sports, except a couple of minutes that was Barry Sanders. So it was about sports.
It's Barry Sanders talk.
It was pretty Barry Sanders-esque for the day. Let's talk NFL playoffs first.
Yeah.
Because
let's just say the Lions have accomplished something that hasn't happened since Barry Sanders.
Hey, look at that.
1991.
Also, the Lions have done something this century that the Cowboys have not. Cowboys' the NFC Championship was 1995.
And the Lions have also done something that has probably never happened in the history of the Lions, given hope of a Super Bowl.
Yeah, we're close. Hear me out.
Hope never.
We're gonna break down the playoff game in a minute when we get up to it. But I am not everyone was like, oh, we made it to the NFC Championship. That's good. We'll get them next year. Honestly, there's no next year.
Nah,
it's our year.
Hey,
this is our year.
That's what the Bengals said. Where are they? Where are they? They haven't even gotten close. Well,
they did get to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, so. I'm saying after that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Unless you're Tom Brady, you really a lot of
you're
the times
saying
it is
like
one shot.
You're saying like you get one shot.
Not miss your chance.
This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm really glad that was.
But if that better be their walkout song if they make it to the Super Bowl.
Oh my goodness! If it, that
would be nuts.
Okay, so I was talking to my friends about this, and they were like, "Oh, we need to do a Super Bowl watch party." And I was like, "I'm gonna be real with you guys. If the Lions go to the Super Bowl, I might have to watch it by myself."
Yeah, I would watch the Colts Super Bowl by myself. I would not.
Like I need a
cannot,
dark room, nobody there.
Correct.
Bowl of like chicken tenders or something.
Bowl of chicken tenders.
What's your go-to? Okay, wait, no.
Pizza.
We need to do a special Super Bowl episode where
Pizza.
Pizza's your go-to.
Pizza?
Okay, what else is on like the? Okay, we'll talk about it. We'll
Wings.
talk about it in 2 weeks. Come back in 2 weeks for
Wings.
our special Super Bowl episode.
Pizza wings.
Oh my God. Okay, so going back to the picks we made a couple weeks back. So you had in the divisional round the Bills. Or no.
This is the picks that I did last week.
Yes.
By the way,
No, you changed your picks.
I did, and I changed it correctly.
Yes. So you changed it to
What
Ravens beat. Well, so originally you said Ravens beat the Browns or beat the Texans, whoever, and that was right.
Yes.
Obviously.
The Ravens did beat the Browns,
And then the Chiefs
Texans.
beat the Bills, which was right.
True.
And it's going to be Chiefs Ravens in the NFC Championship.
Yep. AFC Championship. Chiefs Raisins in the NFC Championship.
Yeah. Okay.
That is just all kinds of wrong.
Pile on, Mr. Man. Chiefs Ravens in the AFC Championship.
There we go.
And Ravens are going to win, right? Uh-oh.
I'm changing that one too.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I am.
Do not say that.
I am.
Do not say the Chiefs are going to win the AFC.
I think that I have the Chiefs at this point in time right now. I got the Chiefs winning it all.
I hate you.
Yep.
Is this due to a certain somebody who plays on the Chiefs?
No, it's not due to just Drew Tranquil. I just think that everyone's going to underestimate them, and the Chiefs are just going to chief. And
if they go to a Super Bowl and win it,
they will.
Patrick Mahomes is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
Well, yeah.
Look at that. Look at the roster he has right now.
Hey, I'm just saying, I think that this team is good enough. I mean, if last year's team was good enough, this team's good enough. Why not? I'm just saying.
Okay.
I think that they have a shot. I think they will.
So you have Chiefs raisins in the AFC Championship.
Dear Lord.
And you have changed
Who
it
are
to
the Raisins?
The Raisins, man. The Baltimore Raisins.
Those dried grapes are really going to do good. I'm just saying.
Okay.
That's what a raisin is.
The Ravens will book a place to compete for John Harbaugh's second. Yeah, it's a wild day.
You're all over the place, pal.
John Harbaugh's second
Super
Bowl.
Yes.
Which would cement him as one of the greatest head coaches of all time in the NFL.
Would it be but two?
Yeah.
You think so?
Because one is longevity. He's kept this franchise consistently competitive. And he's not winning Super Bowls in back-to-back years or spans of time.
2024,
if you look, I don't think there is a single player players on the Ravens
there's not
roster.
I wouldn't assume there's anybody. I think it's a completely different roster from there. I don't think there shouldn't be any. That was 12 years ago?
There's nobody on the current Ravens roster who won the last NFL championship.
Correct.
So if he basically rebuilds the team, so he won a Super Bowl. He reached the mountain.
Yep.
Went into a rebuild. Didn't have that many bad seasons when rebuilding.
No. And I
then rebuilds. And if he wins another Super Bowl with this team, he's done what I would argue is harder than any other. Like Andy Reid has had a good run with the Chiefs.
Yeah.
To be fair, Andy Reid's a bad example because Andy Reid is Andy Reid.
Correct.
He has won Super Bowls with two different franchises. I'm trying to think of a team that
has Andy Reid won a Super Bowl with the Eagles. I don't. Think
I thought
he
did. No, okay, I'm thinking Doug Peterson.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Sorry, Andy.
He also didn't. Yeah, but Doug Peterson's only won one too.
Yeah,
but Andy Reid, I think, made it to maybe. I think he made it to the Super Bowl. They lost to the Patriots, if I remember correctly. If I do remember correctly, when he was on, it was with Donovan McNabb, all that era of individuals.
Yeah, sorry, all Chiefs, but. I'm trying. Yeah, so technically Andy Reid, he's got this great team. He's got this great core, and they're kind of got a dynasty going. Yes, it is hard to create a dynasty, but I would argue that it's harder to go into a complete rebuild and then rebuild your team in a different era and win another championship.
I mean, it's definitely. I don't know if it's harder or just as hard to continue a similar success for how long an Andy Reid or, well, honestly, more look at it, continued success would be Bill Belichick of the New England Patriots. It's a different feat I don't know if I've really seen before, is staying with the same team and completely revamping the entire roster. And then over a decade later, as you've still continued to be the head coach, doing it again. And there's a really good chance that they do that. I think that at this point in time, they're probably the most talented, best team in the NFL. It just comes down to whether or not they're actually going to show up and do what they need to do when they're supposed to do it. I have a little doubt that they will, and I have a little more faith in a team that has a little bit more experience in these kind of big moments, big games. But you know what? Again, Lamar Jackson has been proving all the doubters wrong the entire season, so he'll probably prove me wrong. I think Lamar Jackson's a fantastic quarterback, but you know what? You cannot understate what John Harbaugh has done with this team, and if he wins the Super Bowl, I can see that being another notch on his belt. I think he'd probably be a Hall of Fame coach at that point.
Yeah, I think he's arguably a Hall of Fame coach now.
You think so?
But this is a first ballot Hall of Famer if he wins. We'll talk about his older brother Jimmy in a little bit here. Over to the NFC side, you had Niners beating the Eagles, which it was actually the Packers, but
yes.
Right. And you had Lions beating the Cowboys/Packers/whoever, which it turned out to be the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I wrote this in wrong. You had Lions beating the Buccaneers. Sorry.
I think so.
You
Maybe.
do. And then you had Lions and Niners in the. Well, you got the end right. You
Yeah.
got Niners and Lions in the NFC.
I got all the winners right this weekend.
Well, yeah, but I would argue that you didn't because you've changed your.
I
picks.
changed it before the game happened.
Yeah, but I still think you didn't commit from the start. No,
Well,
it's a late round cop out. I
changed it.
I had Ravens beating the Texans and Bills beating the Chiefs, and I was wrong. So the Bills are going to be facing the Chiefs are going to be facing the Ravens, and I had the Ravens going to the Super Bowl no matter what. So you win some.
We'll see.
Some. I had Detroit beating the Buccaneers, right? I had the 49ers beating the Packers, right? And I have the Lions versus the 49ers in the NFC Championship game, and the Lions going to the Super Bowl. I would like to talk about this real quick.
Yeah.
I never like to wish negative on anybody, but boy, I hope Deebo Samuel is not able to play.
They're a completely different team. I talked about this with Bryce earlier this week. The Niners are a completely different team without Deebo Samuel. You saw those 3 games where CMC was out, Deebo Samuel was out, and George Kittle was out for that little bit of time, and the Niners struggled a lot. And last game was not great. And Deebo Samuel was out for the majority of that game as well. What it seems to be is that the Niners have so many A-plus guys on paper on their team that, and for whatever reason, if one of them goes out, a lot of it crumbles. It's like a Jenga tower. All of them are so integral to what they're doing and their game plan and their scheme that if one guy goes down, that next man up mentality is not getting it done.
Mm-hmm.
But for a team like the Lions, I think you could switch out any individual on that team. Other than your Amon-Ra St. Brown. But even if Amon-Ra was out, I still think the Lions could play up to that level without him. Just because of their mentality and their unity and the whole locker room vibe and team vibe that the Lions have, I think is dissimilar from what the Niners have going on. I think the Niners are a team that knows they have a lot of great players, and knows their great players can play well. I just don't know if they know how to play well with each other all the time. And I think that's something that was seen, again, very clearly in those 3 games where Deebo, McCaffrey, and George Kittle were out. And obviously seen in the game against the Packers where it looked like the Packers had their number the entire game until the very end. So I don't know. If you are a Lions fan, I guess you're kind of hoping that Deebo Samuel isn't 100% because that changes that Niners team for the worse in every way, shape, and form. And again, but if a player with the same caliber of goodness, I guess, if there's a way to say that, a Amon-Ra St. Brown goes down for the Lions, I'm not discounting them, and I'm not saying they're a horrible football team without him. But I'm not saying that about the Niners. I'm just saying I think Deebo Samuel is a bigger loss because the Niners can't replace him and continue on. But I think that culture that is in the Detroit area for whatever reason, probably because of Dan Campbell, definitely because of Dan Campbell, You can replace anybody with anybody, and they're still going to have the same mentality. I'm going to go out there and bite a kneecap.
A little bit of grit.
A lot of grit.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's a lot of moving parts on this Niners team, and I think we haven't seen a lot of horrible performances from them. I mean,
those 3 games were telling.
Yeah, sorry, those 3 games. I'll give you that.
And against the Ravens, not great.
I kind of meant
it was more of a Purdy issue, but
it was more of a Purdy issue against the Ravens. It does show that the Ravens might just be the strongest team remaining right now.
Yeah,
they are my favorite to win the Super Bowl. Like unbiasedly, they're my favorite to win the Super Bowl just because of how that team operates right now. But like you said,
I think continue.
I'll talk about it later. Like you said, the Lions have that mentality of, if we get a guy go down, we have somebody that comes in. Zach Ertz is now on the active roster. Well, he's on the practice squad, but he's
that's a Mickey Mouse ring for Zach Ertz.
Definitely a Mickey Mouse ring. But
shows up in the last 2 games of the season.
But we had Brock Wright go down. It was an emergency pull in, and I think he's still not going to get that. I mean, it adds another. So Brock Wright is more often than not a run blocking tight end.
Yeah.
Zach Ertz is a pass catching tight end.
Yeah.
However, can block really well. Sam Laporta, pass catching tight end, can block very well.
Yeah.
Brock Wright has caught passes and touchdowns in his day.
Uh-huh.
But I think Zach Ertz adds a little bit more of a dimension to the attack where you can really play some trickery, fool around, and he's out for a touchdown.
I don't know why you guys are adding him to your, and I think that just kind of throws off.
Well, Brock Wright went down.
I get it, but
yeah, but every team's doing that right now. Every team picks up a mercenary.
Dalvin Cook.
Yeah.
I don't know if
a couple years back, Odell did it late in the season. Chiefs haven't picked up anybody yet.
Niners.
Julio
was Chase
Jones
Young.
Jones went to the Bucks, but that was
no, he went to the Eagles this year too.
Sorry, not the Bucks. But he went to the Eagles.
Yeah.
Or he went to the Bucks and then he went to the Eagles.
I think he did go to the Bucks at one point. Yeah. Oh, he did go to the Bucks. Yeah, with Brady.
Yeah. So he's kind of been ring chasing. Has he gotten a ring yet?
Nope.
Did he get it with? No, it was the year after with Brady, didn't he?
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think that he was on the team that won the Super Bowl with Brady. I think that was 2022 that he was on the Buccaneers.
Yeah, he did not win.
Yeah.
So
whatever. He's been a year late for everybody.
Tough blow, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, I'm still favoring the Lions in that mentality of just being able to move around, whereas it seems as though this 49ers team has not been great with adjustments during the game.
That's what I'm saying.
And you can blow me up all you want for this. I think part of it comes down to Brock Purdy, just inexperience.
People bag on this man.
I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback. I think he deserves to be in the MVP conversation. I think he deserves to be in the Super Bowl. I think he deserves to be getting all the flowers he should be getting. However, at the end of the day,
he's not honestly getting a whole lot of flowers.
Yeah, I know.
A lot of people don't like him.
I'm saying he should be getting flowers. But I'm saying at the end of the day, he's a second-year quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Like, that is just the big stumbling block. I'm not saying anything about his ability. I'm not saying anything about him being a game manager. I'm not saying anything about him being in anything. I'm just saying he's a second-year quarterback.
It's just I've never seen this much hate for one individual that, bro isn't even a first-round pick. Dude was just, he was the last pick in the entire draft, and people are hating on him just because the rest of his team is also good.
Yeah. Peyton
Manning played with Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne, Dwight Freeney, Robert Mathis, Edgerrin James.
Haters gonna hate, man.
I mean, Bob Sanders. His head coach was Tony Dungy.
Haters gonna hate.
I mean,
you just gotta shake it off.
That's so many.
Wait, that's the Chiefs, not the Niners.
Correct. All right. I'm just saying, just because he's surrounded by talent doesn't mean that he's a bad quarterback. I mean, he's playing playing far above what he was supposed to as a last pick of the NFL draft. I mean,
you're right.
Everyone is surrounded by talent.
They traded away their first round pick after he came in.
Yeah, everyone is surrounded by talent. Every quarterback ever that has ever been good is surrounded by talent. I mean, Tom Brady was surrounded by Randy Moss, Rob Gronkowski, Julian Edelman, Danny Amendola, I guess. That entire defense, Vince Wilfork, Dante Hightower, all them. Bill Belichick.
Stephen Gilmore.
Stephon Gilmore.
Are we just... Is it really Stephon? Oh,
yeah, it doesn't say Steven. Yeah. I'm just saying.
Stephen Gilmore's on the Lions. It's his brother.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, David Gilmour is the guitarist for Pink Floyd.
Are they all related?
No. David Gilmour's a British guy. He's also 90. No.
Yeah. I know
70.
I know what you mean, though. I know what you mean, though.
Greatness is surrounded by greatness. That does not discount what Brock Purdy is doing. Yeah. That's just saying.
Highlight on the AFC side. I know you made your pick and you talked about why. I cannot get around the fact that there is no better team than the Ravens right now.
I mean, I don't know. I think that the Ravens are the best team left, but it doesn't always work out that way. And I've seen this happen time and time again with a guy that I just mentioned, Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. It seems like every single year of those 4 teams left that I always watched, other than those 2 years that they were undefeated or whatever, there always seemed like there were better teams than the Patriots. But the fact that they were there and they had the experience meant they had the advantage and the edge. And I think that mentality and that thought process is on the Chiefs now. I mean, I cannot discount them or say count them out or say this team is not going to do it, even if we don't think they're very good, because that happened time and time again with the Patriots, and it always seemed to work out for them. I think the Chiefs have that same thing. That's why I give them the edge. No one is saying the Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl right now. No one was saying the Patriots are going to win the Super Bowl. When they beat the Rams in Super Bowl 53?
No, they had a really good defense that year.
Yeah, but it ended up being what? The final score of that game was like 13-3 or something like that. No one really thought, or even, I don't know. There have been other years where they have not been like that Super Bowl 49. They should not have won that game.
Yeah.
That was the Seahawks were the better team. Super Bowl 51. They should not have won that game.
Should not have beaten the Falcons.
Falcons were the better team.
Oh, they did
won.
beat the Eagles.
And there's been so many AFC Championship games. That Patrick Mahomes AFC Championship game, the Patriots went to the Super Bowl. Mahomes should have won that one. I mean, there are so many times that there are games that there are better teams that the Patriots are playing and the Patriots win. I think the Chiefs are the same thing. The Ravens are the better team. We're discounting the Chiefs. Chiefs are still going to chief. They're going to beat them.
I think Patrick Mahomes has gone to the AFC Championship every single year as the
6
starter.
6 years in a row.
That's pretty crazy.
6 years in a row.
Pretty
I mean, that level of just absolute dominance.
I'm worried.
Is nuts.
I'm worried about if the Chiefs actually bring in a good wideout.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, Rashee Rice
he's good.
He's not bad.
But I want to see him bring in a superstar.
I talked about this earlier. Again on the Fantasy Express. Shout out Fantasy Express. Rashee Rice has kind of filled that role as your Juju Smith-Schuster from last year.
Yeah.
I think that's what they were trying to missing the entire year. They're trying to make Kadarius Toney that Juju Smith-Schuster.
He's really bad at football.
Where it's just a random wide receiver that Patrick Mahomes could chuck the ball to that isn't Travis Kelce. I think Rashee Rice is finally figured that out. I think that they have the same team, if not a better team, because their defense is better than last year.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. At the end of the day, we don't know. But we're very excited to see.
I am.
Just a two-parter today, and I know we talked about coaches last year, but let's break it down a little bit more.
Well, you're not going to talk about your Lions?
I already did.
Give me your thoughts, predictions. Are we going to do predictions at the end of the show?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll wait.
But we aren't know my predictions.
Well, I know. I get it. We'll get there.
It's going to be pretty straightforward.
Cool.
But yeah, we talked. This is just a couple weeks where we're just playoffs and coaches because that's where we're at.
Yeah, I mean, nothing's going on else. NBA stuff.
The All-Star game had really bad uniforms.
Yeah, those look terrible.
And it's in Indy this year.
It is. I may actually be able to do stuff depending on what goes on with my internship.
Yeah,
so
and
we'll see what's going on with that. What? Tyrese Halliburton starting for the Pacers in the All-Star game. Cool.
Whatever.
Cool.
Draymond punched that guy.
Well, yeah, that was a while ago, right?
Yeah.
He got suspended. Now he's back.
I think he's back. I don't really know.
There you go.
The
golf
Bucks fired their guy.
What's going on with golf?
Dunlap won a championship, and then he committed to the PGA Tour.
Okay.
And I don't know if he's leaving Alabama or he's just staying. I don't really know how it works if you're in college and you sign up for the PGA Tour. But he won.
Baseball. Shohei Ohtani is on the Angels. Dodgers. He was on the Angels.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
The Bucks fired their guy, and they're bringing in Doc Rivers.
Okay. Yeah. Caitlin Clark flopped on the floor after losing to.
Are you really gonna say that?
I mean, it seemed pretty obvious.
I'm a
Caitlin Clark enjoyer.
I like
Big
Caitlin
fan.
Clark as well. It
Big
was
fan.
a little
She's very,
bit of
very
a
good at
flop.
basketball. That did look like she kind of over-exaggerated the heck out of that. I'll be completely honest with you. I mean, if anyone doesn't know what's going on, Caitlin Clark is obviously the best female basketball player in the world right now. I'd say probably better than majority, if not everyone in the WNBA as well. I think she'll light that up when she's there. And she's obviously in women's college basketball for the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Congratulations to former Ball State athletic director Beth Getz for being named the athletic director of Iowa.
Oh, wow. She finally got her promotion.
Yeah.
Good
I
for
think
her.
when she went there, it was kind of like a
Gerard Mayo situation. Here's in your contract when this guy leaves, you're in.
Yeah.
There we go. I like it. All right, anyway, Caitlin Clark, very, very good at basketball. Iowa's also very good at basketball. She's good at basketball. Upset by number 18, Ohio State. Fans rush the court. Caitlin Clark's trying to run off the court after a 45-point performance by her, by the way. And a fan, an individual of some sort, trucks her over. And in video, you can see Caitlin Clark kind of go, and fall to the ground. In the video, it's up to interpretation. The Daily News Sports' own Zach Carter is very under the impression that it was a flop. Daily News Sports' Caleb Zuver very much under the impression it was not a flop.
I think it was a little bit of both.
I think she did.
I think she had her head. Okay, to be fair,
yeah.
She was running down the lane and not making room for the screen, and the screen just came out of nowhere.
I agree.
You're a basketball player. Got to pick your head up.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
it was a bit much.
It was a bit much. How
she just flailed her arms around.
She did. She did like the.
She's like,
She did like the arms up, and then she collapsed onto the ground.
Maybe that's just
that was for me. That was a little bit like okay.
Like on the basketball court, maybe she's been training on how to flop.
Yep.
And she just could not turn that off when she got heat checked.
Yep.
I
mean, maybe.
I'm just saying.
I don't know. Like I said, love Caitlin Clark. She better be on the Indiana Fever next year.
Yes, she's going to be. They have the number one overall pick.
Yeah.
Caitlin Clark will definitely be on the Indiana Fever, and I low-key would probably go to a couple games. That sounds awesome.
Caitlin Clark's pretty cool.
Goated. Also, shout out Ball State women's basketball, 17-2.
Did you see the video of Brady in the post-game locker room?
I did. It felt a little cringy.
I'm gonna play it.
It felt a little cringy, so I did not watch the whole thing.
No. It was a little. Did you hear what Brady said though?
Yes, if I remember correctly. It was just I was like, ugh, and just scrolled away. That's what it was. Bro just yelled ski. That's what I knew. It was something that was relatively
they won.
cringy.
They're 17-2. They won a nationally televised game. It's awesome. It's crazy. It's cool. But Brady, man, come on. Yeah, go Ball State
I don't know
basketball.
about that one.
I guess.
Yeah.
Stanford's women's basketball coach. Stanford.
Did you say Stanford?
I don't think I intended to say Stanford.
You did say Stanford.
Tara Vanderveer, winningest coach in college basketball. Period. No winningest coach in women's college basketball. Winningest coach in college basketball. End of statement.
That's pretty cool.
Pretty freaking badass, if you ask me.
Cool.
Congratulations to her. Yeah, that was our sports recap.
Anything going on in men's basketball? Not
I
really.
don't care.
Not really.
The NBA sucks.
I'm talking
bad.
I'm talking just.
Yeah, the NBA
March
sucks
Madness.
and Duke is bad. What else do you want me to say here?
Duke is bad?
Duke is bad.
All right.
Wait.
I also know IU's bad. Peyton Sparks is not getting a whole lot of minutes, I don't think.
Okay, they're 5-2 and 14-4 overall, but I think they're bad.
I do believe, is Purdue still number one?
I don't know.
Men's college basketball. We're in college. I mean, I'm just saying. Rankings, don't know. Number one is UConn. Purdue's 2.
And then Purdue, and then North Carolina, and then Houston.
This is helpful for brackets later, maybe.
No, it's not.
I mean, hey, you can see what teams are good right now.
Colorado
and see if they're good
State
later.
is 24th. Florida Atlantic is 22nd. That's pretty crazy.
FAU is still up at 22. That's kind of nuts.
Yeah.
Remember, they did make it to the championship game last year, which is crazy. Remember that?
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
That was odd. All right.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Head coaches.
Head coaches. We're going to round out the episode. We got about 10 more minutes. So there's only 2 jobs now that remain. So just a brief recap on jobs that have been hired. I think we talked about Antonio Pierce.
We did. I do believe so.
Okay.
Yes. Antonio Pierce. Let's just recap everything real quick.
Yeah. I'll just recap the whole thing. So first, the newest one of the day. Carolina Panthers hired David Canales, the former Bucks offensive coordinator.
Yep.
I think, it's great to hire an offensive-minded head coach for your Bryce Young situation, but also it's the Carolina Panthers. Like, good luck, praying for you. Like,
I don't know if that
whatever,
was like the biggest splash hire for a team that really needed it, though.
I don't think
Was
you
it-
need. Okay, well, yes, you need. I would argue against the splash hire.
Well,
thing.
no, I'm not saying like. I'm just saying someone like the Bucks weren't even that good this year. Like, I was looking for a team like, I don't know, the Lions or I don't know, the Chiefs hire Matt Nagy. I'm kidding. I don't know. I think I was just hoping for maybe who's the Ravens offensive coordinator. Get him. That'd been a great idea.
Who is the Ravens offensive?
I don't know. Why wasn't he a candidate? I don't know. I'm just saying. Usually it's
Todd Monken.
yeah. Why isn't he a candidate? I'm just saying. Usually a team gets a team's offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator from a team that's good. I would consider.
I don't think the Bucks are
Bucks
bad.
good.
I think they surprised a lot of people this year, and I think the big reason why.
They still barely beat the Panthers though at the end of the year.
But I think the big reason why he got this job is because of how he's helped turn around Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield's had a career year all across the board, and he's proven that he can still be a starter in the NFL with the help of Dave Canales. I might be saying that wrong.
I don't know how to really pronounce it either, so I'm not going to hold that against
Next
you.
up, Las Vegas Raiders. Josh
Sure.
McDaniels out. Antonio Pearson. I like this, especially with Pro
After-
Bowl wideouts and defensive ends.
After
saying
not
we're gonna
hiring
walk.
Rich Bisaccia, this
Yeah.
is the time they finally got it right.
I like this a lot. This was really good. This is good.
This is a good idea.
Los Angeles Chargers. Brandon Staley out. Jimmy H in. Jim Harbaugh officially leaves his position at the University of Michigan after winning them a national title and heading over to LA. I like this. I like this for LA. I like this for Jim Harbaugh. I'm a firm believer that Jim Harbaugh can make Justin Herbert
Yeah.
that Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen level
That'd be
quarterback.
cool.
Also, I still think he's that level quarterback. People just aren't seeing it because the rest of his team sucked.
Maybe. Also, okay, question for you. So Michigan, where do you go from? Are you guys okay with that Jim Harbaugh is making the move back to the NFL? Are you okay that he's left you after a national championship? Or are you kind of butthurt about it?
No, okay.
No?
It was
this expected?
It was pretty expected. He almost left last year.
With
and
the
the ol-
Vikings job, right?
It was not the Vikings.
No, I do remember him getting rumblings about the Vikings job. Remember that, though, a couple
Yeah.
years ago?
I think it was also maybe Raiders too.
Yeah,
So
whatever.
He's always been a candidate in
Yeah.
the offseason, but I think he needed to come back and win a national title and do what he said he was going to do. It was either going to be Jim Harbaugh and J.J. McCarthy comes back, or it's going to be neither of them come back.
Goodbye.
And that's okay. I think Sharon Moore is the top replacement.
Is that the guy who interned for him while he was suspended?
Yes, he was the offensive coordinator.
Hire that man.
I liked him.
Jim Harbaugh, this is for you, man. Bro cried because Jim Harbaugh got suspended for 4 games.
You know what? But I like him.
Come on.
The team already likes him. He's in the system.
Seems like a nice guy.
Michigan's offense has been amazing in the past couple seasons, and he's a big part of that. Give him the job.
Yeah.
I have no issue with that. But congratulations to Jim Harbaugh.
No, yeah.
Have fun in LA.
I think that'll help out the Chargers a lot. I mean, I think they've lacked that coach, honestly. I think that's their biggest thing. Who's surprised? Anybody surprised? Nope. No one's surprised.
No one's surprised. Falcons fired Arthur Smith and bring in Raheem Morris. I love Raheem Morris.
Oh, so the Falcons job has been filled.
Yeah.
I did not know
Yeah,
that.
and they passed on Bill Belichick.
Or
Bill Belichick passed on them. I don't know.
one of the two.
One of the two.
Interesting. So the only job out there left for Bill are there two.
We'll talk
We'll
about
get
that. We'll
that here
talk
in a
about it
sec.
at the end.
I did not know that they had filled that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that at the end. But they bring in Raheem Morris, which I love Raheem Morris. Great coach, amazing defensive coordinator, probably one of the best in the NFL. However, the big flaw in Atlanta right now is their offense.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be a big gaping hole at quarterback with Desmond Ridder not really being the answer, Taylor Heineke not really being the answer either. So there's going to be some things that happened. However, I think Raheem Morris is a stellar pick.
I mean, good for him. Good for the Falcons organization. Obviously, a lot of people heard a lot of stuff about Bill Belichick being in the building, having a second interview, all that kind of stuff. Clearly, that did not materialize in any way, shape, or form. I don't know. I'm interested to see how that kind of deteriorated. Because it seemed like it was maybe kind of a slam dunk done deal.
I would like to know the backstory behind.
I
that as
would.
well.
I'd like to be a fly on the wall in those conversations and how that kind of just went out of nowhere.
Tennessee Titans fired Mike Vrabel, which I still think is a dumb move, but they bring in Brian Callahan. Whatever, have a good time. Brian Callahan should help out Will Levis if Will Levis is still going to be the number one.
Oh, he will be. Will Levis proved himself this year to be the number one guy.
He's also, we talked about it on the pod before, but that guy's just crazy.
He is a weird individual,
Just
I'll be honest.
A crazy dude.
But I mean, I don't really know, honestly, after this year, why you would give Brian Callahan of the Bengals an idea or a shot. There's been a lot of players. There've been a lot of coaches from teams getting head coaching jobs this year.
But not really. I still think Brian Callahan is still a phenomenal offensive coordinator.
I'm just saying, usually the way that it works is that the teams that are really, really good that end up winning the Super Bowl or losing the Super Bowl or making it to the AFC Championship, their offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators are yanked and given jobs. Which is just how did your guy? Did neither of your?
We're gonna talk about him. Yeah. We're gonna talk about him. Just wait.
That just doesn't make any sense to me.
It's okay. You win some, you lose some. I think the picks that are being made, like the Mayo one, I get. Callahan, I kind of get. I don't totally get. Morris, I get. Morris has been forever one of the best defensive coordinators in the NFL. Antonio Pierce had to happen. Harbaugh, good pick. Dave Canales, I understand your worry, but I think the big thing that they were focused on is protecting our number one overall draft pick, Bryce Young.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick out in New England. Gerard Mayo coming in. Whatever. We already talked about that on the show. The two openings.
Yeah.
Seattle and Washington.
Yep. Seattle, Washington.
There's a chance, a slim chance, that the Lions hold on to both their offensive and defensive coordinators. However,
there's also a chance that both of them are gone.
Ben Johnson could go to the Commanders, and Aaron Glenn could go to the Seahawks. I can see both of those happening. However, I like Dan Quinn in Seattle. I like Mike Vrabel in Seattle. I like Mike Vrabel in the Commanders. I like Eric Bieniemy in the Commanders, but I don't really know what's going on with his career. So there's that. Do you have any other picks you're thinking about for the Commanders or the Seattle Seahawks?
For the Seahawks, I don't think that Bill Belichick's a hire for them. I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
I don't think Bill Belichick's going to be an NFL head coach next season.
You really don't think so? I mean,
maybe he goes to the Commanders.
That would be my only thought.
Maybe.
I don't think the Seahawks is a good fit for him whatsoever. I mean, they already moved on from a head coach that was older, that was honestly doing better than Bill Belichick at that point. I mean, I don't really know why they decided to move on from Pete Carroll, in all honesty. But
I think
it doesn't make any sense.
Pete Carroll was ready to move on as well because he's not getting fired. He's staying in the special assistant advisory capacity. I think it was very mutual. Like
a Bruce Arians kind of deal with the Buccaneers, where they were like,
I think
"Let's be done." But
Bill Belichick was a little less mutual.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there makes no sense for Bill Belichick to be a Seattle Seahawks head coach. Do you think he wants to slum it up in Washington with Sam Howell?
I think the Washington job is only enticing because he gets to rebuild something again.
Well, he already did that with the Patriots. I mean, I'm saying, like, he already had the opportunity to rebuild, and they hired Cam Newton and Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi.
Okay, well, maybe teams are a little keen to the fact that Bill Belichick might be a little too old.
True. I mean, I don't know. I mean, the fact that I think that Falcons job was probably the best opportunity to see him as a head coach in the NFL still. I mean, if the Commanders want to take a chance on him and make like a splash hire because that's the only thing they have going for him, might not be a horrible idea, but it's just whether or not Bill Belichick would even want to do that. I don't know. Could this have been his last season in the NFL? Could this have been it? I don't think so. I don't know. Thoughts?
I think if he doesn't coach again in the NFL, it's fine. It's whatever. Have a good time.
I mean, just what a crazy way to end that tenure of greatness, though.
But I think somebody's going to give him a shot.
So it'd be the Commanders, in my opinion. That's the only team.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull it up. I think
the
Commanders are relatively good they don't have a lot of cap space. I think it's around.
I don't think they're going to give him a general manager job, though. I think at this point it's only a head coach position.
Yeah.
That's just me.
We'll see where Bill Belichick lands. Fingers crossed that Lions coordinator stay there. I love Ben Johnson. If Aaron Glenn leaves, it'll suck, and we'll have to find a new defensive coordinator. But I think that's a little bit less of a loss than if we lose Ben Johnson, who is amazing. However, if Ben Johnson stays, I am almost certain that he's leaving next year. Or he maybe just stay forever. I don't know.
Eric Bieniemy. Bring him. Why don't they just promote him?
I don't know.
What is up with that
I'm really
guy?
curious about the Eric Bieniemy situation.
Bieniemy will always be a just
enigma.
Yes, that is the exact word I was looking for. The fact that he hasn't got a head coaching job, not sure what it is. Something's wrong with bro.
Maybe he does end up getting the Commander's job.
I think it would make sense to just hire him at this point. I mean, I think he made a lateral move to a horrible team.
The offense was pretty bad under him this last season, so I don't know.
He made a lateral move to a terrible team. That's just I mean, I guess he got the opportunity to call plays maybe, but going from the Chiefs to the Commanders as the same job, you would assume that it'd be more of a Gerard Mayo situation where they just be like, "Oh, we fired Ron Rivera. Here you go." But I don't know.
All right. Quick picks for the weekend. Chiefs, Ravens. Who you got? What's the score?
And I've already kind of talked about this.
Yeah.
I think my pick is going to be controversial, and other people don't necessarily agree with me, but you know what? I'm going to go with what I think is going to happen. I have the Chiefs winning this one in a close game, 29-27. I think it comes down to the end, just like it always does with the Chiefs, but the Chiefs prevail. Even on the road, I know that a lot of people are saying that every AFC championship that Patrick Mahomes has ever played in, which is 6 or 5, I guess now, I don't know. A lot of them, very, very many of them, have all been at Arrowhead. This is the first time that there's an AFC championship that is not at Arrowhead. I think, arguably, a Bills Mafia presence at a home game is hard, and a Bills Mafia and a Bills home game is harder to win at than a Ravens game. That's just me. I think the Bills fans are crazier. I think the weather's crazier. I think a lot of things are more harsh than Ravens country because I'm not a big Baltimore guy. Shout out Colts. We moved away from there. Whatever. I don't know. I think that they're the Chiefs. The Chiefs are the Patriots at this point. I think the Chiefs will get it done at Ravens 27.
I think people are greatly underestimating how much of an atmosphere Baltimore is.
I'm not saying it's bad.
But you're saying it's no Bills Mafia. Whatever.
Correct.
Okay.
Well, nothing is really Bills Mafia. That's just a lot of nuts.
Okay. It's
crazy.
Ravens are going to win 31-20.
Okay.
Lions, I've said it before, I'll say it again, best team in the NFL, grit, ability to push in, push out, any personnel. We got Frank Ragnow, who played through a sprained ankle, Alex Anzalone, who played through broken ribs, Sam Laporta, who's playing on a little bit of a bum knee. It's do or die right now for this team. Also, just a side note, Penei Sewell versus Nick Bosa, I am so excited for that matchup.
Yeah.
That is going to be a good matchup. However, Penei Sewell's going to win. Lions are going to be good on the offensive line. Shut down that 49ers front seven. Lions have not let a running back rush for more than, I think it's 70 yards in a game this season. They're going to hold Christian McCaffrey. He's going to look like a bum. They're going to have no outlet. Deebo Samuel's out. Lions win 27-14.
Oh, wow. All right. Now, I'd like to preface this. I will be rooting for the Detroit Lions, 100%. This is a team I want to see go all the way. This is a team I want to see win the Super Bowl. I mean, I don't know. It'd be a tough pull between the Chiefs and the Lions purely because of Drew Tranquill. And I don't even hate the Chiefs. I don't hate the Chiefs. A lot of people hate the Chiefs. I don't hate the Chiefs. I like the Chiefs. Whatever. Besides the point, I again will preface, I will be rooting with my heart for the Detroit Lions, for the city of Detroit, for everyone there. With that being said, San Francisco 49ers 31, Lions 17. With that being said, and Daniel Keene has left the podcast booth, I am alone. I don't know if this has ever happened before, and I feel pretty bad, but you know what? I'm just saying, Niners are the better football team. Is this the end? I'm going to just talk, I guess, because it's now my show. Did he take his laptop? No, he left it here, so he has to come back, right? Yes? Oh, he came back. All right. I'm just saying the 49ers are
Shut up.
I think are a
Shut
better.
up.
All right.
Shut up.
All right.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Underqualified Knuckleheads Sports Podcast. Tune in next week where we will listen to Andy Newman eat his hat after the Lions advance to the Super Bowl. Have a great week.
That'd be
Stay
awesome.
safe. We'll see you.
I can't wait to eat my hat.